What's up? We're back. It's Raw Talk with your girl, Tiki Mills,
Tiki Millions, and
Divaria.
Yeah, you're done already.
We're looking fabulous today, girl. I'm loving your fit.
Thank you. I just had a little comb over, I just decided to kind of let my hair down a little bit, just a little something. Look cute for my man and shit,
Yes, stay out the DMs because, this is how we do all the time.
Yes.
So, shout out to my people.
Good, you could look like this. Just know.
Shout out to my people who like it raw.
Yeah.
Where you at?
Hey. That's how we were born, all right? So just know, if your daddy wore a condom, you wouldn't be here. You would be in a condom somewhere rotten, getting ready to be broken down and fucking up the ecosystem.
Exactly. Plastic, right? In the ocean, remember. So, happy Halloween, everyone.
Yes.
Welcome to Scorpio season. And
Capricorns, you coming just now, don't worry.
Please.
But big up the Scorpios.
We the best.
You're not DJ Khaled, but okay. Yeah, so people do remember to make sure to like, subscribe, and share, and turn on the notifications on the YouTube. You already know.
Yes. You can find us at Raw Talk Tiki Riri. So
on IG, and you can find me Tiki_Millions, and you can find her at
Divaria.
Yes.
So we're gonna dive straight into the shits. Yes. So you ready to take it off?
The NYC Mayor
debate.
So, big up our guy, Eric Adams, shout out to him. He is the Democratic runner, and we now have the Republican independent, right? Mm-hmm. Curtis Sliwa. I feel like at the end of the day, this was such a good debate. Like, this shit was funny as hell. I thought it was really funny.
Girl, it was Def Comedy Jam.
It was comedy. No, that shit, if it wasn't for Silva, I think I would have fell asleep. Because, I love Adams, but I kind of feel like he was
too serious?
I feel like Adams had it in a sense where, God, I had to lift this shit up. Fucking sweating. I feel like Adams, he kept it like in a sense of a very politically correct. Which I get it. He tried to keep it with class, but
we appreciate the realness.
Yes, we do. Silva, I think that he had some good points. Like, one of the issues I am very strong about is the cameras in the areas that they're not supposed to be, in the urban areas, the ghettos, aka the black and brown neighborhoods. They're on literally almost every freaking corner.
What kind of cameras?
The street cameras.
Okay, for like speeding.
Right, correct.
Okay.
And I kind of feel like they have it in such a way where they want to keep us in poverty because, it's a cycle, right? Because if you can't pay those tickets and you get on the camera, they're going to take your car. So now you have to pay the ticket fee, a pound fee, and sometimes they hit you with another fee as well. And to me, it's like, if you can't pay your bills or you just, you're barely scraping by, you understand?
Right.
So you live in check to check. You use your car for everything, for work, picking up your kids, running errands. So no one, they come on, with these cameras and these, what is the pile up of these tickets? A lot of the times it keeps people poor.
I agree. I mean, like, I remember one time I caught a ticket going east and caught another ticket going west. And I was like, what the fuck?
For fucking 36 miles out.
And then the thing is that, like, first of all, I didn't even get the original notice. I got it after the fact.
Right.
And I'm like, are they, like, really hungry for, I know the city's hungry for money. Like, the city, my cousin always told me, the city ain't got no money. But still, like, 36 miles an hour.
And it's illegal. You understand? Because at the end of the day, they're supposed to get a permit from the community. Is it okay for us to put this light up? Because they can't just put it up there. Like, say they're having accidents or, just kind of, maybe some hit and runs happen, is becoming dangerous in an intersection. They're supposed to come and say, well, we feel like this is happening, and just for the ensuring of safety in your community,
right?
Is it okay if we put up these cameras? And everybody in the community is supposed to say yes. But you know what they do in our community, and we don't do nothing about it. They just put up shit, and they just have to deal with it.
And we just take it.
I've worked in when I used to work in Glen Cove in Long Island. That's how I found this shit out. Right there in Glen Cove. Anybody know in Glen Cove, you have to go down Glen Cove Road. Long story short, they put up a camera. They started rallying out there. I went to go get food from this ill Japanese spot. They have the best bento boxes, girl. I went time coming out. She was like, ma'am. She's like, I need you to sign this. I was like, miss, I don't live in this area. She's like, but you work over here, right? You drive. I was like, yeah. She's like, this shit gonna affect you too. So I was like, what? Let me sign it. So she was basically saying that how it's illegal and they didn't ask anybody's permission. Within 2 days, that shit was down.
Wow. See,
Yeah.
you guys heard it here yourself.
Yeah. So yeah.
That's why, and it's important to be a part of your community, like your organizations, everything like
Yes.
that, so that you're aware, when things like this happen.
Exactly. So, it's just one of those things. And Curtis, he said he had a lot of other things that I really did like. Eric Adams with him, his thing is housing and early education and funding, which I think is important because De Blasio wants to take out all the art programs, all the arts out.
Crazy.
Yeah,
New
I don't
York
know
City
what the fuck he did when he was
programs.
in power.
I mean, like the
He
school
tricked us.
programs are so different than when we used to go to school. Like,
Yeah.
remember they had like Gateway. They had like so many different. They had I was in co-op. Of course, I've always been in band, playing multiple instruments,
Yeah.
and it's just not the same. Like, because they took out the gifted and talented program first
Yeah.
of all, which was terrible.
Yeah. I'm
Because there are people, there are
Shame on you,
kids.
New York.
Shame on De Blasio. I don't know like what he did or he didn't do because I don't really follow, the political realm as much. But I feel like the Gifted and Talented program was like instrumental, especially like for, myself, my kids, to getting to where we needed to be. So
I feel like De Blasio tricked us because he had a black wife. And remember, she had the little Asian background. Tricked us, to get votes. Like, fuck out of here. Like, people don't fall for that shit, right?
I mean, black
He's
people,
digging in the chocolate don't mean he's 40 chocolates in them.
because he's still a white man, aka an oppressor.
Exactly. So, but again, just make sure go out there, exercise your right to vote, and local elections are very, very pivotal. Okay, so always remember
Yes.
that. I know you may feel like your vote don't count, but if there's not enough of us in there to make
Represent.
decisions,
Yep.
and decisions and represent us, we have nothing. So
Exactly.
just get out there, do what you gotta do, and do your research, all right? Because not everybody's for us and shit. And speaking of white people and being for us, the Meek Mill bus art uproar.
Total uproar. His depiction of black women bending over, coochie out.
Well, it was actually the color pink. It wasn't technically a vagina.
I mean, like, I don't know what your vagina looked like, but I know
You should like pastrami split in half, but go ahead.
after the lips part, it's cotton candy pink. So,
Yes.
this is what he was promoting. And that's the cover of his album, which just came out. Shout out to him. I heard he had a really good concert in Brooklyn last weekend. And, the thing is that as black people, we just have to do better. Like, I feel like, yes, it's art and it's a form of expression, and I'm all for people expressing themselves, but why not have something in a more uplifting light? Like, why showcase that? You know what I'm saying?
See, for me, okay, and I'm not saying I'm for, the degrading of black women. However, I know art is, it's whatever the artist says it is, right?
Right.
Because, I mean, it's the art was created by a black woman.
Right.
And, him and her collaborated, and this is what they thought. I mean, because if you think about it, go back to when we was younger. Remember the Rump Shaker video?
Right.
Think about a lot of these 2 Live Crew, Uncle Luke videos back in the day. You wake up 2 o'clock in the morning, you're seeing ass.
Yeah, but I feel like...
I'm just saying, like, for me, I wasn't so offended by it, but it definitely... It could have been depicted a bit better.
A little bit more tasteful. Like,
Correct.
so...
Yes.
We're all for self-expression, and I think that, like, I don't want to, harp too much on it being a black thing or a white thing or whatever.
Right.
But it's just like for our peoples, can we just get a better example?
Yeah.
It could have been done better.
And I think what it is too these days, the young ones, they're so guided by any freaking thing. You know what I'm saying? Like they're gullible. So whatever you show.
I would
them,
like to hear what his thought process was when he created this.
He said it was art.
I know, but like what inspired him?
The love of black women. He was actually on one of these, I saw the interview. He was basically saying it's art and he doesn't understand why it's such a big deal. There's worse things going on. There are people who, are incarcerated wrongly and they need to get out. Like, he went that route with it.
Oh.
I couldn't blame him. I'm like, yeah, he is right. We should be worrying about other shit.
I mean, like, I'm not too much worried about it, but I know that some certain people seeing it, it's like,
Yes, it's
yeah.
It's a different thing, but at the end of the day, to each his own, right? And it's just so much drama circulating that. Come to find out, he has issues. People talking about they need to get Rick Ross on the line right now because apparently he got
Maybach music.
he's talking all of this other stuff, but I was shocked when I saw this from him. You know, I see.
You know, he deleted that post. So,
Well, you know, internet always wins with the screenshot. Tweets.
dead ass. I mean, like, nothing you post on social media is ever private. Don't kid yourself at any time.
You could post it and take it out within 2 seconds before you know it.
Somebody screenshot it. So, you shit out of luck.
I think the lesson is that again, as Black people, we need to understand too. You need to learn to read and understand these contracts. You need to know the language. You need to get a good lawyer and not a lawyer that the label
Provided.
Oh, hey, look.
Use my lawyer.
Use this lawyer. Here's a list of no. Fuck out
The
of here. I'm gonna go get my
lawyer
own
that
shit.
the label provides is not in your best interest. It's
Yeah.
actually in the label's interest.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's funny because, like, some people be like, oh, I need to go, you know, similar to, like, going to HR. HR is there for you, but it's there for the company.
Who writes HR's checks? Okay. Okay.
So don't get it twisted.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm sure this is a learning example for him. I hope that he does get the money that he's due. You know, he's a very successful artist.
Yeah,
And-
I like Meek, you know. I be running through my old
What,
hood, but I'm on my new
what?
whip. Same old attitude, but I'm on my new
New
shit.
shit.
You know, we fuck with me. You know, we like
Yeah,
me.
definitely.
Yeah. All my family live in Philly anyway. Shout out to
Exactly.
Philly. Yeah,
I go to Philly to buy shea butter.
right?
Like-
Authentic shit, right?
Yes, you know, shout out to this place. Well, I'm not gonna say the name, but you know, I can't. Well,
We're going to hit all you up and ask for a sponsorship. That was going
but downtown Philly, shea butter be having me good,
Yes.
have my hair good. So you know,
Because in Philly, that's the first place I found this hair system that helps, you know, help us with the kinky textured hair, break it down.
Really?
Yeah, there's a girl out there. She started this big company. She's a millionaire now. And my niece and my sister-in-law goes to her.
wow.
Yeah. So yeah, no, Philly, definitely for sure. So you done already. So tragic, you know, death on Hollywood scenes. Helena Hutchins, she was a cinematographer on the new film with Alec Baldwin, and
Right.
apparently he was handed a loaded weapon, which I'm shocked at because I didn't know that they use real weapons on movie sets. Like
I had no idea either. I thought they just had an ill videographer or whoever it
Yeah.
is that edits the movies.
Yeah.
Like I'm thinking everything is like Avatar.
Like Pootie Tang. Remember Pootie Tang? When the hair was even sending out bullets and they see the little fire. I was like, oh shit. I didn't know. I was like, oh my God. Like when I heard that that's so sad.
It is like, and you know, for them to be so irresponsible, like you have a real weapon and it has live ammunition. Like
Yes.
you should not be working ever again. Like this industry,
I agree.
like it's so hard to get a gun license. You have no idea how hard, especially in New
Listen,
York.
we tried.
Very, very hard. And then you're on a movie set handling it so irresponsibly.
Yeah.
No, that's like unacceptable.
I think definitely, you know.
So RIP to her family.
Yes, you know, she has a husband and a young infant.
And a young child, right?
I think that, again, they have to really make sure with these things, get people who know what they're doing, like a
And you know, that's how
ballistic
Bruce
specialist.
Lee's son died.
Yeah, that's what I heard. It's so
Like-
crazy. Like, now all these stories are coming out that this stuff is happening before. I'm like, what? Don't put me in no movie.
You
You
need
know,
more
gun.
safety standards and precautions for when you're on a movie set and there's live ammunition or real weapons being used.
Yeah, so, you know, most definitely be careful. You know, being careful. So, again, once again, do remember to subscribe, like, turn on notifications to Raw Talk on YouTube. You already know.
Yes.
So, knowing that, I hope all the bed before they come and sit down and watch the show, right? On a funky and all the bed. Even a little stain.
Listen.
You know, I don't know
No
what this
skid
bullshit
marks.
is with people all of a sudden come on and do woodworks. They don't shower. They don't like to wear deodorant. They only bathe the children.
When they see dirt.
Ashton Kutcher, Jake Gyllenhaal, all they nasty. Simple so. Yeah.
First of all, there's no such thing as not showering every day. I mean, like, that's just a basic. And I hear people out who are like, oh, you know, we need to build up our resistance and bacteria in our body. Yeah. You need to shower every
Don't
single
listen
day.
to them, man.
Especially, like, in the summer, like, twice to 3 times a day. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know where you guys are from or how you grew up, but we come from hot cultures. Hot countries.
Yes.
Climates. Yes. And so, you know what? The thing is that when you are walking in the sun, when you wake up, when you're in a hot climate, it's like the first thing I'm like, oh, I want to take a sea bath and then I want to take a shower. Oh, I want to take a shower, then I take a sea bath, then I take another shower.
Yeah,
So
and then
it's just like
to me,
regular.
I think a lot of gynecologists are getting a lot of money because these women and them who don't like to bathe, the little punky. When time come, infection is setting in because I don't give a fuck. You fuck your man and then, oh, well, I'm not dirty. And then it just go white.
What?
Like, I don't understand. Like, first of all, we don't condone that shit. Bathe and wear deodorant. If it's, there's so many different types of deodorant. If your underarm smelling stink, you
Right.
could burn bread. And like, sit down on your arm, potato skins as well. You could boil
Lime.
Yes.
You could run like lime underneath your arms, and baking soda also.
Thank you.
Natural, remedies for ridding yourself of the body odor.
Don't give me that bullshit that you're sensitive to this and you're
Everybody-
sensitive to that. Cut it out.
And the thing is that, you know what, for women especially, like, I'm not saying that you're scrubbing your vagina like you're grating a block of cheese on a
Right.
grating board. What I'm saying is that you have to be very gentle with your parts.
Yes.
And then the thing is that, like, you have to get hypoallergenic. So you're not even using soap, excuse me. You're using a proper body wash or a natural
Concoction.
Exactly. So
Well,
you're
ain't
not
nothing but
you're not using Irish Spring or some Palmolive shit on your
Right.
pussy. I mean, like, what's wrong with you?
Yeah.
Like, growing up, I will say that I used to use, like, I think Ivory, like Ivory, and I use Dove unscented. I use that to shower. I do not use that on my vagina. I use specially hypoallergenic products for the pussy.
Yes. So please make sure I'm bathed, all right? Don't follow this trend and wear all the deodorant because then you're going to end up with a smelly pussy and a smelly cock. I'm going to pull my mouth down for this one. First of all, your pussy smelling stink,
Takesha.
no man ain't going to fuck you. And fellas, if your dick smelling sour and we go down there to give you head, when time come, we not giving you head because the shit smelling and then you peel back the skin. God forbid you're not circumcised. You had the cottage cheese and the oatmeal in the back of that hood. So when you're bed, it takes those things off.
Listen, you heard it here first if you didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
So, I always wonder, like, if you're in a relationship and, like, how much romance and affection you need if, your man is,
Paying all
paying
the
the
bills.
bills. Right.
He's
And
not cheating.
He's not cheating.
He has a good attitude. He's not an attitude man coming home. He's not an NWA.
So, the thing is that, do you need, like, if everything is being paid, you're being taken care of, except your emotional needs are not met. Is that good enough? Do you need more?
Yeah, you need romance. Women need affection. It even stems from a child's point. A child needs a mother's love. They need a father's love. You need to hold your children, hug your children, right?
Yes.
I think maybe people who didn't really get that and they tend to be a little off in life. So as an adult, that doesn't change. So now you don't have your mother, your father doing it. You have your spouse. So I think it's important because you could do a lot for a woman, but if you're not being affectionate and bringing stuff home to her, the next man go do it, and then you go vex, and then you want to put both of them in a grave.
and horn.
So I would just say,
I mean, like, so, what are some things like that, for men specifically? Because they're like, I do everything, and she's either ungrateful or she doesn't appreciate it. Or, like, you have to understand your spouse's, like, love language.
Yes.
And, like, how they interpret, what's good for them. Like, I know someone where he's, like, all over her, and she's just like, she's more of an acts of service kind of person. So you definitely need to be aware of what the person needs.
and ask them directly, communicate, and comprehension is key. Okay, don't have her just talking and you're just nodding your head and you know what the fuck she talking about.
Yeah, you scrolling through Instagram,
Comprehend.
not paying attention. Like,
Yeah.
be attentive to your partner. Because Takesha is right. If you are only doing that and she's not getting any affection,
Yeah.
she will leave you and she will not have sex with you. Even
Yeah.
if your cocky smell clean. Okay?
Exactly, and even if it's big, there's always a bigger one out there. So
Well, we
just-
don't want two big ones.
Yeah, we
like,
don't need anything. Like, oh God, forget about a big ass dick in the pussy. What about a big ass one in the anus? Jesus, can't you fucking around walking on the spots and then taking a shit. You try to hold it in no muscles,
terrible.
But-
No walls. That's what they say, no wall connection.
no walls. But we'll get into that to another episode. But last thing we're going to talk about is making sure that part of being affectionate, ladies and fellas. I would definitely say, please make sure and get your vagina scaped and your penis scaped, your man.
Yes, manscaping and waxing.
Yes.
You know, like for both parties, I think this is a necessity.
Yes,
You know,
it's
you
important.
can't just think that it's all good and you got a forest and a jungle growing out there. Like
Exactly.
nobody wants to suck a dick that's like hairs coming out from all over. And I can't imagine a man like if you work all day and you know, shorty got a chia pet. Like, how is it that
Chia.
that he can, you know, part that Red Sea and get to the lips? I mean, like, that's just too much.
The burning bush. Remember that part in the Bible? Listen, ladies, don't have that man coming out like tying or to burn up your bush. And you know the worst thing is giving head and fuck around and then you're there choking on pubic hairs. Like you know, like come on now. You don't need them fucking naps in your throat. Like save us the
Nigga naps. I mean, like,
Thank
we ain't
you.
got naps, so we going to just call them that.
Get rid of all the nigga naps.
Oh, my God.
Get rid of the kitchen downstairs. The kitchen is supposed to be in the kitchen in your house, not downstairs in your pants.
Listen.
And you know,
And, you know, some people are just, like, scared, I think, based on, like, not knowing what to expect when they go for, like, that waxing or that sugaring. I mean, like, how was your first wax?
a nightmare. The first time I had and it was crazy. The first time I went for a wax, I went for Brazilian.
Oh, my God.
You're supposed to ease it in, like, you know, like a big old dick,
bikini
ease it
and
in.
then, yeah.
And with a wax, you're supposed to ease it in as well. And then I'll never forget, it was right there on Merrick. On Basin. Yeah, understand?
Shout out to Queens.
Yeah, you know, that's where we grew up. And one time come now, Madame Go, it was this, oh, God, you see, shit that we do for men. So this guy was like, oh, you should wax it, you shouldn't shave, because I was getting a lot of, like, razor bumps. So he's like, oh, if you wax, everything will come off. I was like, hey, you know, soldier, I'm going to go get this shit done. Ain't nothing.
Got it.
Lord have mercy. First of all, the lady didn't know what the fuck she was doing, and she used the strip wax, which is the worst. So she strip waxing my pussy. I'm like, she's like, oh, no, it's not going to hurt. It's not going to hurt. So next thing,
Lying.
girl, next thing you know, I'm like, lady, this fucking hurts. And then she's like, oh, just take time, just
Where's
relax.
she from?
India, Pakistan. And she's like, take your time, just relax, just breathe. So next thing you know, girl, I had to jump off that fucking table because she's waxing. Mind you, I waited till I was hairy because when I went there, I showed them a little something.
You didn't clip it?
Well, she told me the more hair you have, the easier it comes off. Fast forward. Next thing you know, girl, is a mohawk. I jump off the table with her because when time come now, she's there and she's pulling the wax. And I'm like, lady, this shit fucking hurt. Next thing you know, she pulled. I saw blood on the paper. I said, stop. And you know, I didn't have my pants over. It was like by my ankles. So I jumped off the table. I was like, lady, this ain't going no further. So I walk out there with my mohawk. And I was like, And then I met a great wax girl who taught me. She said, no, you do the bikini, then a deep bikini, then you graduate to Brazil. You just
Right.
go, you know.
You don't dive right
Pro
into it.
bono for a fucking
I mean,
Brazilian.
I had gotten a sugaring done.
Ooh. How was that?
Girl,
I never tried sugaring.
I will say this. It is not for the faint heart. I'd rather wax 100 times before I sugar again. And I have a very high pain tolerance, you know, and I was like, I'd rather give birth. Like, I don't want to do this ever
And
again.
They actually say that it's better than waxing.
Girl, my
I don't know. That's what they say. I don't-
my pussy was smooth for like 3 weeks. However, when I tell you, that was the most painful beauty experience I've ever had.
Ooh.
And my pain tolerance is super high. And I think that, you know, because like they have the ball with the sugar and they roll it in, roll it out, roll it in, roll
And
it
the hair
out.
comes off?
Yes.
So it's not like the...
No, it's not like the wax strip or like the hard Brazilian wax where the wax comes off.
Okay.
And so the thing is that I could not jump off the table because my pants was off. But I was just like, she was like, breathe. I was like, I don't know about this. I was like, I kid you not, I'd rather give birth, no pain medication, than ever go through that again.
Yikes.
So, and you know, the thing is that everyone has a different experience. So I'm thinking like maybe it's technique, but it was so painful that I don't even want to try it again.
I don't blame you.
I just think that like the results, it was smooth. I had a great time in Puerto Rico. However, I went home and that shower hit. I was like, Lord have mercy.
I know like Mariah.
That pain was intense. And then it was just like, girl, you ain't never doing this shit again. And I am not. So I don't know, like maybe it's someone who has a good technique in sugaring where, you know, like I'm like, where's the lidocaine? I need something. It was painful.
Ooh.
Waxing, I could do any day, especially like, you know, when you go to get like a Brazilian, like, you know, you butterfly your leg, flip them, boom, flip over, you know. and that's it. But and then it's technique too with waxing.
Yes.
You got to hold it down and then rip, not just rip. Like, what you doing here? Like, you got to hold down the area, then rip.
I would say this, people, make sure and do your research before you go get anybody scaping anything down there. Like, get a consultation. Like, people go get landscaping on their home, they get a consultation. So
Exactly.
Get a consultation so you know what you're in for.
And then don't go to get no damn waxing and you ain't bathed. Like,
they know. And my wax girl, if you don't bathe and you're funky, she will turn you back.
don't come out from the gym. Don't come out from getting some and be like, I'm going to go wax. No. That's nasty. Don't do that.
They know. All right.
They know.
Once again, people, it's all about Raw Talk. We appreciate you guys.
Yes. Thank you guys for tuning in.
Yes. Do remember to subscribe, like,
share,
and turn on those
notifications.
All right. And we see you guys next Wednesday. So make sure to have a safe Halloween. I hope you guys
Happy Halloween.
Bye.
Bye.